Guess who was getting expelled 1 week before college graduation? Me! Because I accidentally turned in an entirely plagiarized paper that ChatGPT wrote because I got sabotaged by my ex.
If you've been following me for a while, you would have known that last year I unfortunately did get kicked out of college due to plagiarism. Now, it was a really stupid thing to do, and it all happened just due to me being lazy.
Guess who was getting expelled?
Right, so why am I showing you this? It's due to the fact that plagiarism is a very serious offense. Not just in America, but around the world. It is one of the things that gets you kicked off from a university. It's career ruining stuff. From an academic perspective, it's like dropping the N word. Not as just because you released the new rap album. No, dropping it as a slur. That's how people within academic circles treat you if they found out you've plagiarized. Especially if you plagiarized on your PhD or some other important paper. Now, keep that in mind as we're going to discuss about another interesting thing, which is a tactic that left-leaning people have been doing in the post-2016 era. And that tactic is to subvert institutions. I'm pretty much sure that most of you are familiar with it. The way it works is that you accuse someone that's high up, whether it's a CEO or someone in middle management, you accuse them of something bad. Whether you found an offensive joke on Twitter, whether they sang some rap lyrics, whether they had a controversial take, it doesn't matter. It's going to be justified as why that person should be fired. And anyone that defends that person from the accusation should be fired as well. But what happens when the left is being accused with something? Like in this situation, you have this lady by the name of Claudine Gay being accused of having segregation at her university, as well as for making headlines as she refused to say if the genocide of Jews was against Harvard policy during a congressional hearing. Now, again, average mortals like ourselves or your mother would immediately be fired from any type of profession they would have if this was the case. But of course, because she is at Harvard and, she has a prestige, a pristine position in our society, she's above the common mortal, so she is immune to tactics like getting fired. Because, you see, Harvard believes in free speech. Yes, the place that cracks down on microaggressions and doesn't like it when a place is not a safe space and encourages people to say the correct thing. Yeah, that place apparently is a bastion of free speech. And due to that, you can't stop segregation. I mean, if people want to associate the way they associate, that's up to them. If people want to say something anti-Semitic, then it's free speech, right? So, what can be done? Well, apparently, people on the internet and right-wingers have looked into this university professor's career so that they too can benefit from such wisdom, so that they too can elevate themselves to this new way of thinking. And it turns out, much to their disappointment, that many of these persons' ideas weren't original. In fact, they were plagiarized. So here we're going to notice another tactic that's very popular, very easy to employ amongst academic circles, especially in the West. When you want to make a person look bad, you water down a definition. Right? So, for example, the definition of misogyny. Well, if you disagree with Hillary Clinton, you're a misogynist. So, they're watering down the definition in order to make it more encompassing so that the people they don't like get to fall under the new definition. But what happens when the opposite takes place? When you have a person that you actually do want to protect and they are being accused of actually fitting the definition? Well, in that case, you narrow it down. You see, well, actually, plagiarism is not what you think it is. It's not what we actually punished people in the past for. It's not why many students have lost their academic position for. No. Like, now plagiarism needs to be a lot more strict. I hope that there are students who have been kicked off from Harvard for plagiarism that are going to now sue the university, and they're going to say, well, hold on a little bit. Like, I did exactly what Claudine Gay has done, and I got kicked off the university. Now you're saying that that wasn't plagiarism. I wouldn't be surprised if these types of lawsuits were to happen, and honestly, if I was in that situation where you plagiarized and you get kicked out, and then you say you see that a higher up professor within the same university gets a pass for doing exactly what you've done, oh my god. Oh my god. So, of course, the professor that has been plagiarized is a lady by the name of Carol Swain. Some people say she's a right-winger. I generally don't know, nor do I see why it would be relevant to this particular article. But she is upset. Like, she is very upset about this, and she demands that Professor Gay steps down. Should we even call Professor? Because, like, if you plagiarize your PhD, usually this is... Anyway, apparently Harvard is going to form ranks. And this is, like, something that I genuinely admire of people on the left, is how strong they are. Like, unironically, I look at right-wingers and they're so meek. They are so weak, and it's like, oh, Anheuser-Busch. Should we really boycott them? Like, didn't they have enough? Meanwhile, people on the left, completely unapologetic. I mean, I watched when Gavin Newsom went out to have a public speaking. And this was after he managed to clean up the entire Scat Francisco within 3 days. Because Chairman Z came to visit. And he just showed that, and according to the press statement, didn't even have to pay extra money. Like he just showed that the city can be clean whenever he wants to. It's just that for some reason they don't do it on a regular basis. And he goes in front of the TV and he says, yeah, because this is what you do when you have important guests. I mean, we have important guests and I'm not apologizing for it. Like, completely unapologetic. And I'm like, what a man. What a fucking man. That is the type of person that I want as a leader. Even if he actually leads to places that I don't want to go, at least I know that he's doing the fucking job. Like, no apology, no nothing. Straight back. This is what we do in the best city of the world, San Francisco. And I was like, wow, why can't right-wingers do this as well? Why can't we have right-wingers that form ranks as well? I don't care. Like imagine if right-wingers would have formed ranks, like, who else was anti-Semitic recently? Kanye West. Okay. So Kanye West says something anti-Semitic. And you would have, like, right-wingers form ranks exactly the same that left-wingers form ranks against Claudine Gay, also for saying something anti-Semitic. The reason I even brought Kanye West into the conversation is that I am wondering what the left had with him to begin with. Because apparently, in recent couple of weeks, I have heard more anti-Semitism coming from the left than Kanye West has ever said in his life. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, some of the anti-Semitic statements coming from left-leaning universities has shocked Kanye West. Like, even he is probably bewildered. Who was his political advisor? Nick Fuente? He probably is shocked about the anti-Semitism coming from the left as well. I mean, unironically, some of the statements were so out there. But I guess now universities have free speech. They didn't have it up until now. Now they do. And what's more interesting is the question, as I mentioned before, like, what was their problem with Kanye? Like, if Kanye comes out now, but I understand, like, Kanye is not with the anti-Semitism now. Now he released an album where he appears dressed as a member of the Klan. Like, he has the whole ghost outfit and shit. Except that it's black, it's not white. Yeah, and people are upset. So I guess, like, Kanye is like, oh shit, anti-Semitism is not edgy enough, now it's mainstream? Ah, fuck. Well, I guess it's back to racism. I don't know, it's just, like, interesting. You're looking at these events, and you're so bewildered how fast things accelerate, and what was wrong yesterday is now correct today, and what is correct today is probably going to be wrong tomorrow. And you have to constantly look at where the culture is going in order to make sense and understand. But, like, one thing is for certain. We do live in a pseudo-monarchy of sorts, where you have your betters, like people who are able to get away with stuff that the average person wouldn't. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.